you guys? Oh, you're making a documentary about me. Oh, how interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's just go. Let's get into it. All good? All set up? Perfect. My name is Kevin Sellers, KEVINSELLERS. I am a junior at Rollins College, currently studying critical media and cultural studies.
Are you ever afraid that somebody will see you?
Not really worried too much about people seeing me. When I was a kid, I guess it was more of a thing, I was like, oh, I wonder, if I'm in the middle of someone's house, trying to spook them, and they're just, they kind of wake up and they see me, but it's like, no, that's more like the ghosts thing. Ghosts can kind of choose when people see them and when people don't see them, and, I'm more of just always invisible kind of thing. It makes walking around really easy, get to just stroll around campus, and nobody really thinks about anything like that. Yeah, I do really love to walk around campus. It's really beautiful. A lot of people think, oh, invisible guy, he must like, old abandoned houses or old decrepit thing. No, I like the open air. I like to walk around. I like to check out the flowers, look at the fountains, just sit on the benches and just take it in, especially when the weather cools down. It's real nice. Favorite spot on campus? I think my favorite spot on campus has to be CFAM. I have a buddy over there, actually, that really, we get along really well.
You can't really see him, and I don't really know how to talk to him, because most of the time, do you address that you can't see him? Is that okay to say, or is that wrong? He looks at the art, I think, or maybe he sits down. He does one of those. Not everybody in the office really knows that he's there, but they know he exists. Or maybe they're just telling me they know he exists. Regardless, he's a fun guy. He wears cologne, that's how I know he's there. He passes by and I'm like, oh, he must be here because I smell him.
Was this some kind of lab experiment that went wrong?
No, not a lab experiment. All natural, 100% genetic. I know a lot of people get the misconception, oh, invisible guy, it must have been a lab experiment, because that's what you see in all the movies. See, the movies don't really do a good job representing the entire culture, you know what I'm saying? It's always the horror genre, and by the way, it's also always the invisible man. I don't understand that. We have plenty of invisible women, too, so I don't know why they're not getting as many movies as the invisible men are. Regardless, not a lab experiment, 100% natural. Genetic. Mom and dad, got married young, had 2 kids. They didn't have a lot of invisible dating websites, seeme.com, they have all that stuff now. But back in the day, it was friend of a friend. You had to meet at like a mixer. And funny story, the mixer where my parents met was hosted by this sorority girl. And she eventually saw the 2 floating solo cups and immediately moved out of the house, which I thought was funny. A cool little haunting story for you.
He's first of his kind and everything. I'm pretty proud of him. No one in my family ever went to college. We mostly stuck to construction. Mom's happy that something's really happening with the family. And this new kind of shakeup is exactly what I think all of us need. It's inspiring in a way, so I think Dad will get past it. I think that he's going to have a lot of support in the future. I'm happy for him.
Is there ever a time that you wish you were visible to others?
Definitely walking sidewalks. I've noticed a lot of people just trip over me all the time. They don't really see me, they don't sense, that's why I put the cologne on, because you can sense that someone's around, hey, pay attention to me. It's frustrating when you're sitting in a chair and somebody comes and sits on you, and, you scream, and, people are like, oh, I don't really hear it. Well, the invisible scream and the ghost scream, they're a little different. We're not ghosts. We're not ghosts, by the way. Just to clarify, we're not ghosts. But yeah, no, I wish I was visible so you can, I could walk around and people would know that I'm there, It's kind of frustrating sometimes. You ever been to New York? Yeah, totally not invisible friendly. There are always people on those streets. There's no way to get around. There's no, room. All the sidewalks are so narrow. No. Not my style.
Was there ever a prank you pulled that can only be possible by the fact that you were invisible?
Definitely. I'm thinking senior prank. I walked into the dean's office, kind of TP'd the wall, and just did a bunch of stupid things when I was in high school. Those were more of my haunting days, more of the days I'd play pranks on people. I'd touch people's hair, I'd rub them on the back. Those would be the days I wouldn't wear my cologne. Just so people didn't really know where I was at, and I'd mess around, and it got me into some trouble one time. I got punched in the jaw, pretty bad. Had to go to the clinic for that. Nobody filmed it though. It was kind of wild. Nobody pulled out their camera for that one. I think in general the hardest part about being invisible is the fact that no one sees you. You kind of get disregarded sometimes, and people don't pay attention to you. People leave you out of things, or I've had people talk. They're thinking they're talking behind my back, but I was really there the whole time, and it was kind of sad. Especially as I was going through puberty, my body was changing, and it was just kind of hard. Hard to deal with all these things, and it was rough. But better days. Rollins is a very accepting school, and I'm very happy to be a part of this community that accepts me for who I am. And I just think it's amazing. The people here are amazing. I've met with some great people. I've joined some great clubs, great classes, and I just really love it. It gives me a place to be myself and to really feel like I'm making a difference in other people's lives or the world. I don't know.
When you're a kid and you have imaginary friends and you talk to them and they get you through the day, especially when you need them to get you through the day, that's how I feel about him. Sometimes no one shows up and he does, and it makes 9 to 5 feel a lot quicker. Oh, hey. No, I thought he was...
I don't know if I'm gonna go to college or anything like that, but it shows us that we got places we can go, and usually we've been trying to get jobs and live our lives kind of out of the way. People can't see us, so might as well stick to that. But I think my little bro is really putting a step forward. I think it's gonna make some changes. I'm hoping it's gonna make some changes, and I'm excited to be right there with him.
He wears nothing when he comes into the art museum.
No, I'm not. Is that going in? Whew, okay, glad that isn't going in.